Well, welcome to our kindergarten open house, our virtual open house at Greenmont Avenue School. My name is Nick Patello. I'm the principal here at Greenmont. We're very happy to have you coming to our school next year. For obvious reasons, we couldn't have all of our families join us in our school, but the teachers and the nurse and I decided we wanted to make sure that you had all the information you needed. So this video is what we would normally present at our open house. There will be information in it about how you can get your registration packets, how you can drop all that information off, and most importantly, what it looks like, to live a day in the life of a kindergarten student at Greenmont. So we are going to go through our PowerPoint. There will be specific dates in there that you will want to make note of, and a lot of that information is also going to be contained in your packet. Right before we begin, I want to introduce Mrs. Christy Durant. She's one of our kindergarten teachers. Mrs. Erin Robertson, she's the other kindergarten teacher here at Greenmont, and Ann Leacourt is our school nurse, who I'm sure you would know is very, very busy right now. So thank you very much, ladies, for joining us, and we'll get started with our open house. As I said, I'll do a quick welcome and an overview, and then the teachers will talk about what it's like to be a kindergartner here at Greenmont. And then Mrs. Leacourt will talk more about the specific medical information that you're going to need when you're completing your registration packet, what to talk to the doctor about, and so on. So it's important to note that our kindergarten program is recognized by the National Association for the Education of Young Children. The teachers over the last 5 years have worked to contribute to this program. We, at the very beginning of this, we put together quite an extensive portfolio, a lot of work, a lot of things in the classroom, and then we yearly have to submit paperwork and complete surveys and information to be part of this. So it is a prestigious recognition and something that we're proud of and we work hard to maintain. Again, my name is Nick Patello. I'm the principal here. Our school nurse is Mrs. Leacourt. Our school secretary is Dottie Murak. She's the one you'll be talking to with regard to registration paperwork. We have a full-time school adjustment counselor and Mrs. Ellen McManus, and our lead teacher who helps to take control of things if I'm not available is Mrs. Carano. She's a first grade teacher here. Our school hours are 8:30 to 2:40. You can see our phone number there and our website. That website is new this year. So if you can also just go to dracopps.org and navigate your way through, but that's the way to get directly to our website if you need it, which is where you need to go if you're viewing this right now. So good for you. For registration, packets will be made available for you beginning on February 22nd, the Monday after our February vacation. We're going to finish putting those packets together. Those will be made available on the 22nd. You can drop off completed packets between Monday, March 8th and Wednesday, March 31st, anytime between 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. And we'll stay open a little bit later on Monday, March 29th for families to drop off if dropping off during the day is not an option for you. And it will be a contactless drop off. There will be a bin inside our main lobby. You would just buzz the office. You would let us know that you're here to drop it off. You'd put the completed packet in the bin, and then if there's something that's missing or something that needs to be updated, our school nurse, Mrs. Murak, our secretary, Mrs. Murak, will call you to let you know that something else needs to be brought in or communicate with you. Some of the things here that are really important to make sure you have is a copy of a birth certificate, proofs of residency, and there's a page in the packet that has a table right in the center of it that tells you the different options you have for the proofs of residency. A notarized residency affidavit is a must, and that is in there as well. And then specific health records and forms and information that Mrs. Leacourt will go over in a moment. We also have set up a Zoom Q&A for families who may have any questions. The 4 of us will be part of that Zoom Q&A. You can see the Zoom link is already there for you, and that will be on Wednesday, March 24th from 6:30 to 7:30. So any families who have questions that we would have normally answered if we were doing an in-person open house are more than welcome to join us on that night, and we can answer any questions for you. And we do get a lot. We will get questions just about our overall curriculum, questions specific to how the school runs, and usually a lot of questions about the medical pieces that parents are wondering about. So that's why we will all be present in a Zoom on that night for you to join. And certainly, if you know of families that have questions that are joining us, make sure you share this link so people can join in, and we would very much appreciate that. Right now, kindergarten screening is still set to be Monday, June 14th to Wednesday, June 16th. Those are the last few days of school where our kindergarten students will end their year slightly early, and that will give our teachers the opportunity to have the screening. Last year, due to the situation we were in, we were not able to do an in-person screening. We are hoping that we can do that this year with distancing, with staggered appointments, shields, cleaning. We are hoping to have that be an in-person experience for the kids. And we will definitely be reaching out with more information. Our teachers will be reaching out via email to set up appointments as that draws closer. If for some reason we change it and need to do an online version, we are good at that as well. We had to quickly create an online screening this past summer, and the teachers did a great job. So I would just say, please be on the lookout for more information after you've dropped off your registration packet, and we will be able to give you more info on what that's going to look like as we get closer. Transportation is always available to and from school. Bus routes are usually published in August. The bus drivers are very vigilant about making sure that if they're letting especially one of our kindergarten students off the bus, that there's someone there to receive them. An older sibling, an adult is preferred. We usually put the kindergarten students at the front of the bus. Parent pickup is also an option, depending on what next year looks like. It would depend on how we do that parent pickup. We have now 2 different versions of a parent pickup, and we've gotten very good at that. So we will definitely provide more information as we go further into this year, and when we know what next year is going to look like, you can have more information. But there are definitely buses that will go all over. Some streets require a bus fee, while others do not, and that information can be found on the website as well. There is a transportation page on the district website where you can find your street and whether it is a fee street or if it is a free street. It's definitely important. We encourage you to get involved. Normally we have our PTO join us for the evening that we have our open house. Our hope and our goal is to get back to some more in-person normalcy for next year, which will mean that we will have our school events, we'll have our grandparent luncheons, we'll have our dances, our PTO meetings, and it's really important for the life of our school that families get involved and join us in these things. The teachers are great and come to so many events, but these events can't happen without parents volunteering and giving their time and their energy to make them happen. So you'll definitely hear more from our PTO as time goes on, reaching out to you, wanting you to be a part of all of the different things we have going on at Greenmont. So at this time, I will turn it over to Mrs. Christy Durant and Mrs. Erin Robertson, our kindergarten teachers, and they will walk you through sort of a day in the life of a kindergarten student at Greenmont.
So I did just want to say really quickly, the PTO also has a Facebook page. If you're on Facebook and want to join, I think it's Greenmont PTO, I think is the exact name of it. So that's one way to welcome yourself to the Greenmont community. And we do have a lot of wonderful events that the PTO does put on for us. So that's my little shameless plug for the PTO. They are fantastic. Welcome to Greenmont. I am Mrs. Robertson. I've been teaching kindergarten at Greenmont for 20 years. I've always done kindergarten. My first year was half day, and then I did full day. I've done full day ever since. It's a great place to be. I send my children here. I went to school here. It is the best school in the town. So
Hi, I'm Mrs. Durant. Nice to meet you all and welcome to Greenmont. I've actually taught at both the Campbell School and the Greenmont School. I've taught grades K1, 2, and 3, but kindergarten is definitely where my heart is. And Greenmont is definitely where my heart is as well. Both my boys graduated from the Greenmont School, so it's a really great place to be. So welcome here. So this is our arrival time, kind of a picture of arrival time. It's a little bit different this year. But as you can see, the kids come off the bus in the morning. Right outside the doors, Mr. B is there. He greets every bus as they come in, says good morning to the kids. And our paras, we both have a full-time para in our room who have both been with us for a few years. We'll meet the kids down in the cafeteria. The kindergarten kids all stay together in a line and they walk them back to our classroom. Even right now, the kindergarten kids are able to stay socially distanced in the cafeteria, so they still stay with our parents. They still get walked to the classroom by an adult. If you drop off, you can either do what we call the live drop off, where you pull up to this side door and there is somebody there to greet you and they open the door and your kid gets right out and you drive off. You don't even have to get out of the car. Or you can park behind the parking lot where the fire station is, and there is a teacher to meet you at the gate there and make sure your child safely gets across the parking lot to come in.
When they come into school, they hang up all of their materials and they come into the classroom, and then we do a tiny bit of morning work. We do attendance, we do lunch count, we talk about what we're going to do for the morning. And then most years we do come and join each other on the rug, and we sit on the rug and we have what we call a morning meeting. We're still having morning meeting now. This year, just again, it looks a little bit different. As you'll hear throughout our PowerPoint, things are a tiny bit different this year, but mostly the same. That's where we talk about our lesson for the morning. We read stories, we have some shared reading together. We do a calendar time, we do a lot of math during this meeting, and then we talk about the work that we're going to be doing in our centers.
So this is our reading program. We use what we call a balanced literacy reading program, and it's great because it really meets all of the kids at their own individual skills. We're able to really help out the kids that need a little extra help, and we're really able to push the kids who are a little bit ready for more things. So it has a couple of different pieces. We do a mini lesson, which you saw a little bit of in the last slide during our morning meeting, where we might do some shared reading. We'll model a strategy that kids can use in their reading. Then we also do guided reading, where we take small groups of kids who are working on a similar skill and we work with them. You can see in a normal year, we would work at our little table like this together and read a book together and practice the skills we're working on. We also have what we call independent reading time, which is when the kids spend some time reading on their own. They all have individualized book bags. That is just right for their reading. We do what's called a Fontes and Pinnell assessment to see where they are, and then we give everybody books that are just right for them. We also encourage the kids to do partner reading. This is where the kids sit together and share their books, and they kind of help each other out with the strategies, and they read to each other and work together. And other kids are at centers doing what we call word work. It might be working on a magnet board like this child is doing. It might be working on a sight word sheet. It might be working on a hands-on game that we have. So there's a lot of learning for reading going on all at the same time, and it's all very much individualized for the kids' personal needs.
It's a similar program that we use for writing. We call it Writer's Workshop. So we have Reader's Workshop and Writer's Workshop. And again, a lot of the learning that we do in kindergarten is individualized for each child. Yes, we do work in groups, but it's a lot of modeling and it's a lot of modifications for your child, which not that I want to give us a little kudos, but I think that that's something that Mrs. Durant and I are very good at, is individualizing instruction for each child. So for our writing program, we use Lucy Calkins' writing program, and it's a workshop model. Again, the teacher models the lesson. We talk about the skill that we're going to be doing for that day, and then we send the children off and they go and work on the skills that they're working on for themselves. And then we come back to the rug and we discuss it like this child here is doing. She's modeling and showing us what she had worked on during Writer's Workshop, and they really enjoy that time.
So right now we use a Houghton Mifflin Math Expressions program. We are looking into starting a new math program. Mrs. Robertson is actually on the committee working on that, so we can make sure kindergarten has their voice heard in that as well. But even no matter what math program we use, we do a lot of hands-on learning for math with kids, a lot of modeling, a lot of working together in small groups. You can see there's kids, literally our room generally looks like this with kids working at different activities, all at different tables, all at the same time. And we really try to do that workshop model as well, where we teach a mini lesson during either our morning meeting or our afternoon meeting. And then we send the kids off to practice that in a variety of ways, whether it's a worksheet, whether it's a hands-on activity, whether it's a math game. So we do a lot of hands-on learning in those different math activities.
During our center time, which is typically after a morning meeting, after we go over all of our tasks for the day, our must-do activities, we go off and do some center time. So I see a table of children. Typically, we have 2 to 3 tables worth of students working together. The teacher will lead a table, the assistant teacher will lead a table. If we can have parent volunteers, we very much encourage parents to come in to volunteer their time, work on an art project with our class, play a game with them. And it's kind of like organized chaos, if you can imagine it happening, but we get it under control, and it's pretty loud, but it's exciting, it's energetic learning. And then they can have some playtime also, but it's like learning through playing and learning at the same time. And that's our center time.
And this is our lunch line. So in a normal year, the kids do need to learn their lunch code number, which you will get before they come to school. We actually suggest when you do get the lunch code, make it their iPad code or their tablet code. One of the parents suggested that to me one year, and it helps the kids learn that code really quickly. So they do, as you can see, this girl is punching her number in. So when they buy lunch or milk, they will punch their number in. We have a program called School Bucks. It's very easy to use, and you don't have to worry about sending cash in with your child and them losing the cash or dropping the cash. You can either send a check in at the beginning of the week or the beginning of the month, or you can even just pay for it with your credit card, set some money up on their account. It gives you email alerts when it runs out. So we do usually have 2 options for lunch every day. And the kids sit with their class at their tables. We do have a peanut-free table for anyone that may have an allergy, any type of food allergy, not just peanuts, but we usually call it the peanut-free table. And we do allow them to bring a friend with them. We usually have that friend be someone who is buying lunch so that we can ensure that the lunch has no allergens in it. And it's a great time for the kids to socialize and talk. We do encourage them to get some food into their bodies because some of them like to talk more than not. And our paras are in lunch with our classes. So that's great. They have someone that knows them very well and knows who they need to encourage and what they need in there.
And then after we have our lunchtime, we have a little bit of a rest time. It's a time to just re-energize your body. We do have a little bit of reading time. That's a time when they can take out their reading bags and practice their independent reading. Some kids like to rest. We put on some quiet music. We put audiobooks on, and they like to rest and read and get ready for the rest of the afternoon.
Then we go out to recess. We do go out as much as humanly possible. If it's above 32 degrees, we will go out. So you want to make sure they're dressed appropriately. Sneakers are great. I know the girls' great shoes look so pretty, but sneakers are great for recess because the kids really are climbing all over the playground, running all over the place, and just having a good time. We, do a lot of social learning out at recess, teaching kids how to mediate through problems that they have. But yeah, recesses, we try to keep them out as much as we possibly can.
And we do have a snack time in our classroom. Most of the time it's in the afternoon. Well, actually all the time it's in the afternoon because we have lunch at 11 in the morning. So we typically have our snack time around 12:30 or 1 o'clock. One class is a peanut-free classroom, so we have peanut-free snack times. And again, it's another opportunity for the kids to listen to an audiobook, or we really encourage the social talking at this time so they can just get together and have fun and eat and chat at the same time. It's about 15 minutes in the afternoon.
And then we have an afternoon meeting. It's very similar to our morning meeting where we have some type of whole group lesson. We tend to do a lot more math in our afternoon meeting, but we go over any whole group things we need to do, go over the directions for the afternoon centers. And it's just another time for us to come back together and have kids share what they've learned as well. As you can see, this child's up, he's doing a little bit of what we call math talk. He has a question to answer and he has to explain his thinking and how he got his answer. So it's very similar to our morning meeting.
And then our afternoon centers are very, very similar to the morning centers. It's a time when maybe we're finishing up some work from the morning that we didn't finish. We have a little more art projects. We are working in small group and centers again. And so it's just a very similar time to the morning meeting. And again, maybe we might have a structured activity or whole group activity or math lesson that we're working on during that time.
We're very lucky that our kindergartners get to go to special every day. They have a different special. So they may go to gym, computer, art, library, or music, and they do some really great things in all of those. Most of our kids can log right on to the computers now all by themselves already because they really teach them a lot of great stuff in there. So it's kind of like a fun, exciting time, but they're learning at the same time as well.
And most of the time we do have our specials in the afternoon, so that's why it kind of falls at the very end of the day. And then we have dismissal. And again, they're very good at packing themselves up at the end of the day, putting their coats and their backpacks on. Our paras do walk them out to the bus, so they make sure that they go right from the classroom to the bus. We're not losing any kids while they're walking down the hall or before they get on the bus. And then we also have our car pickup time, which we'll have to see how that's going to look for going forward. But again, it's very, very structured, very routine, very much supervised. So, and that is it. That is our whole school day.
Yes, and one thing to add is we've recently added in what's called a ruler program. So not only are we taking care of the kids' needs as far as academic learning, but in kindergarten, for Mrs. Robertson and I, even before ruler, has always been a big thing to make sure that the kids are doing social learning and emotional learning. And ruler has just put a little more structure to that for us, given us vocab for the kids to use that they will use consistently through the years on how to understand their emotions, how to help control their emotions when they're upset, what that looks like. So that's another great piece of kindergarten, is all of that social, emotional friendship that goes on in the classroom.
Thank you for pointing that out. Excellent job. Excellent job, ladies. So now we will shift to Mrs. Lecourt, who will talk to you a little bit about what she will need from you for the registration packet with regard to the medical piece.
Hello, my name is Ann LaCourt. I'm the school nurse here at Greenmont, and I've also been here a long time. And all three of my children have gone to this school. It's a wonderful school. I just wanted to go over a couple of things that you'll need to bring to registration. I need a copy of a recent physical, sometime within a year of the start of the school year. And please make sure that the doctor makes sure that there's a height, weight, blood pressure, any allergies they might have, like a life-threatening allergy to foods or medications, or any health conditions that might affect them in school, like diabetes or asthma or seizures or ADHD. Any of those things that we might need to know about are important, and to make sure that I get those healthcare plans from your doctor at the start of the school year. And as they told you, we have a peanut-free rooms and peanut-free classrooms and the cafeteria. So if they do have a life-threatening allergy to a food, we do take that all into account and take care of it. I also need to make sure that you're with your physical, you have a complete set of those immunizations that are listed. There needs to be, 5 of one, 4 of the other 3. Just make sure when you get them from your doctor with your physical that they have those things included. On the physical, you'll also need to have a vision test. That has to be included on the physical somewhere by your doctor or your eye doctor, either one, it doesn't matter. Hearing is not required yet, a hearing screening, but it's very important that we know they can hear well in order to do good in school. So we're suggesting that vision is required in the results, but the hearing is recommended. So if you could get me all those things by the time school starts, it would be greatly appreciated.
Especially with regard to those, any allergies that folks have. Our staff goes through an EpiPen training every year where Mrs. LaCourt will remind the staff and show the staff how to use an EpiPen if needed. All of the EpiPens are kept in the nurse's office, so it's always important that we have all of that information and up to date as well. Thank you, Mrs. Lecourt. So that would conclude our presentation. Again, this is very weird for all of us. We are used to taking questions and having conversations with families, and we're excited to let people see what the school looks like and continue to talk about how great the Gator family really is. So we tried our best to do that in this format, and hopefully, you know, those of you who are brand new to us will see the gem that is this school. Those of you who are returning families already know what a wonderful school this is. So I don't think that you need reminding of that for sure. So at this point, I am going to say thank you for joining us. I want to thank the teachers very much for, and Mrs. Lecourt very much for being with us. And again, if you have any questions up until getting your or dropping off your packets, please call us, please email us. We are here to help. And then don't forget that we do have that Q&A on the 24th for any questions that can wait. We will be able to address those questions for you. So unless there's anything else that these wonderful ladies have to add, I will say thank you for viewing our presentation, and we will see you soon.